Hey everyone, welcome to today's review session. Today is Tuesday, September 17th. Had a fantastic trade today. Actually, I took the trade live within the Tactical Traders community today. It was a really good live. Got to talk with some of the guys there and just talk through some things, answer some questions, and got to see my trade hit live, so that was pretty cool. I want to talk about the trade because it turned out to be a really good trade, and I had a really calm experience with it because, you know, I had the knowledge and the skills, and I had the time behind the charts to know what was going to be happening. So I just kind of want to dive in and talk about it. I don't think this will be a long video at all. So I took the trade today on my micro account because this isn't typically a trade I will take. So I am primarily focused on AMD. That's the model, that's the setup that I really like. However, I have the knowledge of other models, of course, and when one presents itself that is super dumb clear and is real easy to read, then I'm gonna look at taking it as long as I have confluences that it's going to work out. So I took the trade on MNQ. It was 2 micro contracts, and let's zoom in and talk about it. Alright, so you can see my entry here, and let me actually do the replay so we can kind of get rid of some of the clutter here. Let's go back here. Alright, so let's take a look at what's happening here on MNQ and on ES kind of at the same time. Hopefully you guys will be able to see this. So if you can see what I see, and I'm going to try and point it out to you so it's a little bit easier to identify. Here, let's get rid of some of this. So let's do this. Alright, so what I see immediately is an overlap of gaps. So we have this bullish fair value gap here, and we have another gap here, but it's a bearish gap. Where is it? Right there. Right about there. Right, and so that creates this overlap. Now, when you have an overlap like this of gaps, this is going to be an extremely strong magnet for price. Right there. So this is what I'm targeting. And I'm watching, so as this is happening, I'm watching this put in a low, so I mark out my low, and I see price kind of starting to create this retracement action, and I'm just waiting, right? So we need to be patient. And we want to make sure that we're watching the body closures, but we're also watching the wicks. Now we're going to react based on how price closes based on the bodies, right? So as you may have not heard, the wicks do the damage, the bodies tell the story. So because this is the area I'm watching, what I'm looking for is for price to close within this overlap area. If it does, if it closes and it's a bullet or a bearish close, then I'm expecting this to respect as an inverse and then continue down to at least this low down here as our first take profit, and then down further, which we'll talk about in just a second. So price came up, it wicked above, but we don't care about the wick because all this is telling us is that price is grabbing all of these orders in this overlap. What matters is how this closes. And if it were to close bullish and above the gaps, then I would expect this to continue to run up because it picked up more buy orders than it did sell orders. But that's not what happened here. What happened here is it wicked up, it grabbed all the orders, and then it came back down. We have pretty much like close to a doji candle. This is a bearish close on the candle. I mean, still technically it's green, but bearish close because it did not have a strong bullish candle here, a strong bullish close. It picked up all the orders and then it kind of sold off. So it did close within the overlap, so now I'm fully expecting, based on the next candle, for this to continue south. So as soon as price came down, and I think maybe even just a few seconds before this body closed, I went ahead and put my order in for 2 micro contracts. I put my stop just a few ticks above the wick high here, which is only risking about $65. And I'm targeting, like I said, my TP1 is this low here. Now TP2 for me is down here at this low, because this low is at the consequent encroachment of this major wick. And I'm expecting this area to be a strong draw on the liquidity. And the rest is pretty much history. So we just wait for price to react, and we react to price. Where's my replay tool? So we can see price, we get a strong reaction, and we just wait. And as soon as this candle closes here, I moved my stop up into profits. I moved it to the bottom wick of that candle there, so now I'm securing profits. And then I just wait, and I wait. Price will do what it wants to do. At this point, my philosophy is, since I'm now in profit, if price decides that it wants to come up and hit my profit, or hit my stop, which is in profit up here, that is likely going to be an indication of this being invalidated. But that's not what happened. I got a little worried down here after these equal lows were created, and it just kind of swept it. I was kind of thinking, okay, now we're going to come back up, it's going to invalidate. But if you look over here on ES, you can see something really interesting. ES, it looks like it is putting in bearish order flow. It is not the same as what we see printing on NQ. And as we know with both ES and NQ, one is going to be the magnet for the other. It's going to just slingshot. With ES looking very bearish in the order flow, I would expect if it does dump off that it's going to pull NQ with it. So I'm watching this carefully. So that's why I'm not moving my stop up any further, nor is it why I'm not closing out my trade early, because I see on ES it's very bearish and it should dump off. So I'm going to wait and see what price does. There we go. I don't know why I wasn't going. All right, so we can see price does wake up. It's on NQ, it's trying to come up, and it looks like it's just trying to come up and grab some orders, but it's just not the same. The same is just not playing out on ES. So I'm feeling much more confident now that even with these small bullish candles coming in and wicks, this is just going to dump off. And so now I just wait patiently for price to do its thing. And sure enough, we get the action that we're expecting. Price comes all the way down, wicks down, grabs our TP1, and continues south. Teases a little bit there to come back up and grab some orders and some liquidity, comes down, and TP2 is hit, and we are done for the day. It was a really simple trade. Again, it's not one that I typically take. I will only take these types of trades if it is super dumb clear, and this was it exactly. So it was a great trade. It was a great execution, great plan, followed my rules. Yeah, not much more to say about it. It ended up being a 10.25 risk to reward ratio. Now, obviously, I'm on my micro account, but that's perfectly fine because this is helping me build conviction and experience. So, fantastic trade. I feel really good about it. And that was it. It was my one and done trade. I didn't take any other trades today. This was my only trade that I took today. So that's it. Hopefully this helps some of y'all. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. And that's it. Yeah, we'll talk to you all later. Have a great rest of your day.